Today's topic comes from this lovely subscriber. Thank you, Megan. There's a Google form in the description if you two would like to suggest something for me to cover in one of these videos, or even a deep dive video. You can also just comment it down below. It helps with the algorithm and starts some cool conversations. Anyhow, onto the discourse. For those new to the discussion, here's a crash course in the A of LGBTQIA. It stands for asexual, aromantic, and agender. You don't have to be all three to fit the A, but you have to identify as one of those three umbrella terms or their subcategory of identities. Asexual, or ace as it's called online and in some spaces, is the identity that deals with the physical attraction you have towards a person. So you can be a gay man, for example, but also be asexual, because relationships are built on the back of both physical and romantic qualities, but don't have to include either of them. Got it? Great. If you're still confused or want to learn more, there's links in my description, and you can also let me know if you want a full H-Bomber Guy video essay on this topic, because boy howdy, I could give you one. Back in my Tumblr youth days, ace discourse was all the rage. Anon-hate was sent en masse if you even breathed in the wrong direction of someone, let alone talked about the intricacies of trauma and what it's like to be asexual in society. Between getting into arguments about why we shouldn't be shipping two brothers together and dealing with the start of my college career in a very small Midwestern town, I was quite terribly traumatized to the online perception of ace people, which bled through into my fandom experiences as well. It's a really odd situation to be in when you're both coming to terms with your own identity through the ace community, but also simultaneously having your identity erased as an ace person. Sometimes my fellow LGBTQ folk are on another level when it comes to gaslighting and manipulation. I guess they don't call it being a girl boss for nothing. Sub to my Patreon so I can pay for therapy caused by horrible fandom weirdos. You get lots of cool perks, just saying. And one of them is that I don't lose my marbles on the regular. This may have been a very personal and highly specific situation, one that I don't want to really bore you with, but for context, I have had the experience of being manipulated and then in a queer platonic relationship, as well as a standard queer dating relationship, all at the same time. Weird, I know. In 2017, we were swinging wildly between two extremes, and I just wanted to play video games in peace. I have yet to experience that still in the year of our Lord 2025. Please, I just want to rest. Being abused on both sides of the same coin really gave me this strange and nuanced view of being asexual within a fandom space. Most recently, and when I say recently, I mean within the last year and a half, within the Baldurs Gate 3 fandom. And of course it has to do with Astarion, because it always does. I love this twink, but you have got to stop making him look bad. I'm tired of getting comments on my art that say, I hate Astarion and his fan club, but this art is awesome. It hurts my little gay heart. The argument goes like this whenever it comes to asexual Astarion. Ascendant Astarion fangirls say that he could never be ace, and it just doesn't fit into their view of him because he's gotta fit into their 50 Shades of Grey fantasy instead. People say that Astarion being headcanoned as asexual gives ace people a bad name, and people who headcanon him as being ace being given whiplash every 5 seconds because they just wanted a cathartic experience of projecting onto their favorite character, only to get an anon saying they should delete themselves off the face of the planet in no uncertain terms. The people being angry at those who simply headcanon Astarion as ace are honestly just repackaging some of the most hateful rhetoric that we get from the right-leaning side of the internet, and they use it to make a laughingstock out of marginalized people. Who cares if someone headcanons Astarion, a man whose whole story is about getting revenge on someone who him and kept him as a slave for over a century, as asexual, or somewhere on the spectrum of being ace. I'm planning on talking about this more in depth in my Ascendant Astarion video essay and the larger problem with romanticizing abuse within fandom spaces, which is something that does actually harm people. I can absolutely attest to that personally. Unfortunately, most characters that are portrayed as or headcanoned as asexual do come with a bunch of traumatic experiences. If we shift the conversation away from it being Baldurs Gate 3 specific and more about being ace on the internet, we can definitely tackle this little issue of people with trauma who are ace, and therefore characters with trauma being headcanon as ace give ace people a bad name. When you think of someone who doesn't have physical attraction towards people, you probably think of those like Sheldon Cooper characters from Big Bang Theory, or the innumerable, incredibly awkward, and on the autism spectrum type characters that media loves to throw at us. Sometimes that is in fact the case. I myself can be incredibly awkward, and I am also in fact on the autism spectrum. But it is a stereotype. Ace people are not a single solidified being. We have individual experiences and things that drive us. We just so happen to not really be physically attracted to people, or be on a sliding scale when it comes to it, which shouldn't really be a problem. Now, should it? But for some reason, society loves pointing and laughing at a person who isn't the norm. I never understood it, but I also don't understand society as a whole. It's probably why my pronouns are weird and I talk about inconsequential fandom crap on the internet for fun and money. Unfortunately, when it comes to just being a person, especially one who doesn't conform to society standards, we can get hurt in the process. This sentence here looks a little bit like victim blaming when we put it into that context, doesn't it? How dare I be Ace and headcanon this vampire elf twink as Ace while also having trauma? How dare I have negative experiences that have shaped me as a person? How dare I have exes on both the Ace sides and, quote, normal, unquote, sides of the LGBT community that have irreparably harmed me in ways that cannot be undone, but are eased by the thought that maybe this white-haired D&D character can heal, so maybe I can too? I don't think I'll stop identifying as somewhere on the Ace spectrum just because I've gone to therapy and dealt with trauma that I've been through. It's simply a fact that most of the time I don't have attraction like that towards anyone unless I have a deeper relationship with them of a romantic kind. Maybe that's a normal thing to you, dear viewer, but to me that has always indicated for me that I am Ace. I am not giving anyone a bad name by simply existing and having trauma. Nobody is. If anything, we should just let asexual people exist. Who cares what they get up to or don't get up to? Let's not be ignorant and let's educate ourselves instead on all the various ways we can be human. If you want a more structured essay on the topic of asexuality and the way that the fandom, space, and media has reacted to said identity, let me know down in the comments or send in that topic request form if you'd like. Normally, I would put an artist highlight section in this place here at the end, but I actually don't know a lot of asexual artists who label themselves as such, at least those who do work that's safe for the wider internet audience, if you catch my drift. So if you know anyone who is an artist, asexual, and or really loves drawing Astarion, put their username in the comments below and let us know how we can support them. If you enjoy Astarion content, I draw him a lot with my Dark Urge, Wit, who is a very pink tiefling. Right now, I'm working on a fairy print of our beloved vampire twink for a local con, and if you want even more Astarion content, then you should check out my Patreon, where I have so many cool rewards that start at only £1 a month, or $1.50 if you're an American. We have an awesome Discord community where we hold weekly live streams in which I draw Patreon exclusive art, and we're going to be starting gaming streams as well, where we either play Jackbox or you guys control how I play Baldurs Gate 3. Any support helps me and this channel out. The more I'm able to focus on YouTube and not on outside commissions, the more I'm able to do things everyone enjoys. Either way, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a nice rest of your day or night, and remember to love each other. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.